Yes, class. Am I audible to all of you? Sara, Siddhika?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Look, see, in the last class, we had started with projectile motion, right? So we'll be continuing projectile motion only. What all things we discussed in the last class? It's a very short class today because we'll have the class on Sunday now. So that's why a very short class, 1 hour class. Then all those who have biology, you can join up your classes. See, we had discussed range of motion. We had discussed what were the, initially we had started with the conditions of projectile. If a projectile is there, what are all the conditions of a projectile? After the conditions of projectile, we had seen the formula for time period and we had seen the formula for equation of trajectory. Also, we had covered the range of motion. So out of all the 5 parameters that are involved, we have seen the 3 parameters. 2 are left, height and velocity are left, that we'll cover it today. And on Sunday, we will complete with this lesson. All right, so yes, regarding the formulas which we had seen, equation of trajectory is x tan theta minus gx square divided by 2u square cos square theta. This is the formula of trajectory. Then we have time of flight. Formula of time of flight is 2u sine theta divided by g. So theta is what? Theta is basically the angle of projection. U is the initial velocity and g is acceleration due to gravity. Then this we had seen the formula for range u square sine 2 theta divided by g, and exactly at 45 degree you get the maximum value of it. At 45 degrees you have the maximum value of range of motion. And for complementary angles you get the same value of range of motion. Means take 60 degree, 30 degree, 45, 45. Take any 2 angles whose sum make up 90 degree. Those will have the same range of motion. All right, these were the things which we had discussed. Now coming to the height. See, one quantity we call it as the maximum height, and one is the maximum value of the maximum height. Just a second, give me a second. Yeah, so I was saying, one you have the maximum height and one is the maximum value of maximum height. See, maximum height means when the projectile has been projected. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the values of the maximum height the projectile can reach at every point. At particular one point, the maximum height is 0. The projectile isn't in the air. At this point 2, the projectile has covered certain height. At point 3, the projectile has covered certain height. Like this, we have certain heights, right? So we have certain heights out of which we have the maximum height as well. Means we call the maximum height that can be covered by the projectile. These are different values of height that has been covered by the projectile, right? When we talk about maximum height, it means out of all these range, which one is the highest? That is known as the maximum height. Now, again, we'll form equations along y-axis, along x-axis. Here, by just forming the equation along y-axis, your answer will come. Why? Because your maximum height, the value of maximum height is everything is along y-axis. So see, I'll prefer to use the equation v square minus u square. V square minus u square is equal to 2as. So this is velocity towards y-axis, initial velocity towards y-axis, acceleration towards y-axis, displacement towards y-axis. See class, can you tell me what should be Vy? Velocity at the final velocity at the highest point. 0. Very good. See, in the conditions also I have told you, and apart from this, when we have done motion under gravity also, that time also we had seen what did we see? That at the highest point, the velocity becomes 0. So velocity will be 0. Uy, yesterday, no, on Tuesday's class, we had discussed that along x-axis, ux was u cos theta. So perpendicular, that is u sin theta will be the velocity. Acceleration will be acceleration due to gravity. Now again, we have to keep up the sign convention. So I'm just taking downwards as negative and upwards as positive. Fine. And what is the displacement along y-axis? That is what we are trying to find, the height. This is not what we are trying to find, the height, which is along the y-axis, the displacement along y-axis. So displacement is h. Now put in everything in here. This becomes 0 minus u square sine square theta. This is equal to 2 minus g multiplied by height h. That is minus u square sine square theta is equal to 2 into minus g into h, right? This is what we have. Now, if we take these two equations from here, minus minus sign gets cancelled. From here, minus minus sign gets cancelled. So what are we left with? U square sine square theta is equal to 2gh. Now you have your answer from here. The value of height from here, you can directly calculate. See, 2g will go in the denominator. You have the value of height. So final value of height, this will become u square sine square theta divided by 2g. This is the value of height that we have. Note it down quickly. Oh yes, one more thing, maximum value of height also. When we talk about the maximum value of height. So maximum value of height, this becomes, see, when do you get the maximum value of height? When your angle sine theta we are talking about, because in every situation our theta is sine theta we are talking about. So when do you have the maximum value of sine theta? Martin, are you able to hear or not? Martin. Text me, Martin, if you are able to hear, if I'm audible to you. So similarly, in the previous class that we had seen, maximum value of sine theta can be 1, and that is possible only with 90 degrees. So it means at 90 degree, you get the maximum value of height. So this becomes h is equal to u square divided by 2g, because that entire terms becomes 0. So this is the value of maximum height. Now you can note it down from here. Yes, Martin, let me know, please. Martin, are you able to hear now?
Yeah.
Now, C class, velocity is left. 4 things we have discussed. You please keep on remembering the formula because here you have to remember all the formulas. So firstly, we had seen time period, 2u sine theta by g, range of motion, height now we have seen, and initially we had started with equation of trajectory. Last quantity, I've told you, 5 quantities are there. So last 5th quantity is left. That is your velocity. So let us discuss velocity as well. See, velocity is not difficult. Velocity at any point you should be able to know. If we have taken a point initially, if we have taken a point midway, or we have taken a point towards the end, x component and y component we will solve. The way we have been solving x-axis separately, y-axis separately. So when we talk about x-axis, right? If we are talking about x-axis separately, so look here. One thing out of which Vx is equal to Ux plus Axt. This is the identity. This is the formula that I'm using. See, in this equation, can you tell me from this equation, can any quantity be 0 from here? Do you think? Any quantity from here that can be 0?
Vy.
Ay, Vy. Which
Yeah,
quantity,
Vy.
Sarah?
Vy.
Not y. I'm not talking about anything regarding y. Vx, Ux, Ax, and T out of this.
Okay.
Vx is equal to Ux plus Axt. This is the equation. Out of which, do you think anything can be 0? Remember,
Ax.
AX. Very good. In the conditions, turn your pages. Look here. Along x-axis, there is no acceleration. So all your velocities at any point. See, remember I have told you that velocity along x-axis doesn't change. Remember velocity along x-axis doesn't change. I think you have written also in your notes. This is what it is. See, you can see from here. This is again u cos theta only. So at any point, velocity will be u cos theta. Whether you have taken a point in the starting, whether you have taken a point at the end. This Vx is u cos theta only. Fine. Now coming to Vy. Out of this Vy, see, you were saying, I think, Sarah, Vy as 0, Vy won't be 0. There is no any condition for which you can define that velocity along y-axis should be 0. There isn't any such condition. See, we just have to put in the value. What will be Vy? Uy is u sine theta minus g for acceleration and t. This is the equation along y-axis. So whenever you have the question, separately solve Vx, get your value of Vx. Vx will remain the same, u cos theta anywhere you take. And then Vy is u sine theta minus gt. Now, if we take, how do you find out? If you have two vectors which are perpendicular to each other, you know Vx and Vy, they'll always be perpendicular to each other. If they are perpendicular to each other, then their resultant will be V is equal to under root Vx square plus Vy square. And tan beta will be Vy by Vx. So direction also you can find out this way. Total velocity also, magnitude also you can find out this way. And separately Vx and Vy also you can find out. Now we will practice some questions from this, and then a very small topic, that is horizontal projection, is very easy after you have studied this. So note it from here, then I'll make you practice some questions.
Mr. Yt, u sin theta minus yt.
U sin theta minus GT. This one you're asking, Martin.
Yeah, sir. Gt.
GT, yes. See, acceleration is G and time is T. Acceleration due to gravity we have taken. So downwards again we have taken negative, that's why minus.
Más luego abajo. मैं करूँगा।
This portion, Martin?
No, after that. Okay, go down.
See, the question says that a cricket ball is thrown at a speed is given to you at a speed of 28 meter per second in direction 30 degree above horizontal. So above horizontal means if this is your horizontal, 30 degree above it. Right? This is your horizontal, 30 degree above it. It means this is angular projection. If no angle was given, it was just thrown horizontally, that would have been your horizontal projection, which we have not discussed till now. This is direction 30 degree above. This is theta is 30 degree and u is given to you as 28 meter per second. Everything you have to find out: height, time of flight, range of motion, and velocity. See, maximum height, you just have to use up the formulas here. Height is u square sine square theta divided by 2g. Please remember all these formulas. It becomes very confusing. U square, this is 28 square sine square 30 degree divided by 2 into 10 I'm taking. So half, this becomes 10. Please cross check whether it's 10 or not. 10 meters it should come. Second is time of flight. This is 2u sine theta divided by g. So 2u sine theta, 2 into u is 28, sine theta is sine 30 degree, which is half divided by 10. See, this half will cancel this 2, that becomes 2.8 seconds. This is the time of flight. Next, maximum height, time of flight, range of motion. For range of motion also we have a particular formula. Range of motion becomes u square sine 2 theta divided by g. So u square becomes 28 square sine 2 into 30. That is 60 divided by 10. So this is 28 square divided by 10 and sine 60, that is root 3 by 2. You can solve it, see whatever answer you are getting from here. Lastly, velocity when it is striking the ground. See, velocity I have told you. Firstly, velocity Vx you have to find out, which is u cos theta. So this becomes 28 into cos 30 degree. That is 28 into root 3 by 2, which is 14 root 3 meter per second. And next, we have to find out the velocity which is along the y-axis, that is Vy. Vy is u sine theta minus theta. So u is 28, sine 30 degree will be half, minus g is 10, t is 2.8. T, how did I get? T I have calculated it from the second part. Remember, time of flight I have calculated. So this is actually your time of flight only. Find time of flight. So this will be 14 minus 28, that is 16 meter per second. So your final answer, magnitude of velocity, I am asking you, what is the magnitude of velocity? So 14, how much did I get? 14 root 3. So 14 root 3 whole square plus 16 whole square. This should come approximately around 28 meter per second, but you can cross check the answer and let me know if there is any error. Note down this question, its solution. I think question all of you must have written. If someone wants me to scroll up, let me know. Sarah written? Question?
Yes, ma'am.
One more question we'll do after this. And yes, Sunday I want to have a class with you. Class, if we have a class at 2 p.m. IST, is it fine by all of you for this Sunday? I just want to take a small class, 1 hour class it would be, where I want to complete with this projectile motion, so that from Tuesday onwards, we can start with laws of motion. At least July, we'll do laws of motion. We should start with it. So 2 p.m. IST is fine for all of you on Sunday.
I have classes, but if it is okay, I will tell you.
You have classes at
Yeah, like the school classes.
school
From,
classes. Your vacations aren't going, Sarah.
but like we have to finish our syllabus.
Acha, extra classes are there.
Yeah.
So Sarah, any other time on Sunday? Because I have Sunday only available.
After one.
After, this is getting erased.
After one.
After 1, it means at 2:30. Then 3 p.m. IST, is that fine?
Yes.
Then 3 p.m. Sunday, 3 p.m. then. Let's have the class. Martin, is it fine by you?
Yeah.
Answer, yes, very close, Sarah. Very close. 69.27. Actual answer, I think, is 68 point something. So, yes, right.
Okay.
For which part, Siddhika? Third part.
I will go up.
Okay, so you're also getting 69.3 only. Okay. Yes, yes. So answer should be
Okay, go on.
69.3 only. Done, Martin?
No, ma'am. Okay, go to the third one.
To which part? Third part.
Third one, third.
Done? Martin, you've written this part?
I'm almost done. Yeah, ma'am. Can you go to the third one?
Done? one last question I want to discuss with you for today's class. This question says that a boy stands at 39.2 meters from building and throws a ball which just passes through a window 19.6 meter above the ground. Calculate velocity of projection. This means this is your range of motion, right? This is 19.6. And this each end, a boy stands at 39.2 from the building. If this is the building, so boy is standing at 39.2 meters from here. And this is also 39.2 meters. Why? Because the question is saying which just passes through a window above 19.6 meter. So he's standing at 39.2 from a building from which the ball has been thrown. That means this is what 39.2 is not range of motion. 39.2 is half of range of motion. Fine. So for range of motion, you have to double it. 39.2 plus 39.2. That will give you a range of motion. We have to find out velocity, but we have the height. This is our height. And this is r by 2. We have range. We do not have u, but we can find out it. See, 2 into 39.2, 39.2. 39.2. This is actually equal to u square sine 2 theta divided by g. Coming to height, height is u square sine 2 theta divided by 2g. Fine. This is all what we have regarding the sine, regarding the height. See, we have to put in instead of 13.6, this is actually equal to 19.6, which is given to us. Look here. See, from here, if we write the values of g, u square you have now. See, yes, u is unknown for to us and theta is unknown. You can see here, u is unknown and from here theta is unknown, right? So you have two equations, you have to solve two variables. Which part you're saying? Okay, this question only. Fine, noted then. Noted then first. Done? Fine, so we have two equations, u square sine 2 theta by g and u square, this is actually sine square theta, not 2 theta. Sine square theta by 2g. So what we can do, our two variables are there and two equations are there. So we can take their ratio. So 2 into 39.2. This is our first equation. 2 into 39.2 divided by 19.6. What was the formula for range of motion? U square 2 sine theta cos theta. Why? I have told you sine 2 theta can be written as 2 sine theta cos theta divided by g multiplied by u square sine square theta divided by 2g. 2g gets cancelled, 1 sine, 1 this 2u, 19.6 double will be this 4. From here you have 2, 19.6, this gets cancelled. So if here we have cos theta by sine theta, that is cot theta, right? This is cot theta. And this is twice, this is getting cancelled. So if we have this 2, right? 2 cancels this 2, this 2 cancels this 2. So we are left with cot theta is equal to 1, means theta is 45 degrees. degrees. So we have theta. Now in any equation, substitute the value of theta, you will get the value of velocity. Let's say r is equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. U square, we do not know. Sine 2 theta. Sine 2 theta is 45 into 2, that is 90. Sine 90 is 1. U square divided by 10 is equal to, what was the range of motion? 39.2 into 2. Let's take 9.8 only. I think that would be beneficial. 9.8 only. From here, you have to find out value of u will be 39.2 into 2 into 9.8 under root meter per second. I think the answer to this is also 27.7. This you please cross check. This is just from my memory. I have not solved it right now. 27.7, please check. This is how you'll solve. You had two equations. You had the range, you had the height. Range, just you had to double it. So from range of motion and height, you got the value of theta, and from theta, you got the value of u. Note down it quickly and text me done once written. Now we'll have the class on Sunday.
And you should have question.
Yes, Martin?
Could you show the question?
Yes, yes. Wait. All those who have completed, you can leave.
Can you go back?